Master of the Northern Hemisphere sky is the great Orion constellation, the Hunter, which is easily identified from the 3 stars that make up the belt of the Hunter. The configuration of this asterism is very useful to identify other constellations that surround it. Drawing a line from the belt arrived to Aldebaran, a red supergiant star of the Taurus constellation that highlight between the Hyades open cluster with a V shape, extending the line a little more to get up to the Pleiades, also called the 7 Sisters because 7 stars are identified at naked eye between the open star cluster integrated by some 250 stars. Drawing the line to the opposite side arrived to Sirius, the alpha star of the Great Dog constellation and the brightest sky of our age. We draw another imaginary line through the giantess shoulders and located at one end to Procyon, the alpha of Small Dog constellation, at the other end of this line to reach the alpha star of the Whale constellation, Menkar. Going up the right hip of Orion arrived to Capella, the great star alpha of the Orion constellation, the Coachmen. Although we see one bright spot, it is actually a quadruple system. Even with the amateur telescopes we can appreciate, as distance between 2 brightest components is less than between Earth and Sun. From the star Mentiqa, located to the right of the belt, we draw another line through the left shoulder to reach the stars Castor and Pollux, the brightest of the Gemini constellation, the twins. For people in the Northern Hemisphere located further south on the horizon will show the second brightest star in the sky, Canopus, alpha of Carina constellation, the keel to sail the skies of the Southern Hemisphere. This month we can see all stages of the life of stars, from their birth to death, putting our attention and our telescopes on the familiar Orion and Taurus constellations. From the belt of the Hunter descends the sword of Orion to reach the great Nebula M42, a melting pot where thousands of stars are born now and as many young blue light the gas that we can see with shapes and infinite colors. As we move to north twice the lunar diameter to reach Dark Horsehead Nebula where the inner stars have not been able to open holes in the gas that allow us to discover them in the visible spectrum. In the Bull constellation lies the open star cluster of Pleiades, made up of young blue stars dispersed the gas of the nebula around them. In the V of Taurus, the Hyades cluster shows the following stellar evolutionary phase where adult yellow stars have gotten rid of all the surrounding gas. Betelgeuse, the alpha star of Orion, is a red giant in the final phase of its existence, which silicon is combining to make iron, which will result in thousands of years to the collapse of the star in supernova. An explosion that future generations observed with a similar brightness of the full moon. The rest of the supernova explosion will become a remnant gas cloud will fade with time. The Crab Nebula M1 in Taurus shows us through telescopes of 200 millimeters in diameter the actual image of a cloud like that. Gaze the stillness of the sky over your head, and you will perceive the movement of the earth under your feet.